In a world where every corner seems touched by human hands, there exist places that defy this notion. Islands of extreme remoteness. Imagine, if you will, standing on a shoreline so secluded, it's as if you've stepped off the edge of the world. Picture a place where the rhythm of life beats to an ancient drum, and the modern world feels like a distant echo. This is the allure of the unknown, the call of the wild, the irresistible pull of places that exist in splendid isolation. Why are we drawn to these places? Perhaps it's the thrill of discovery, the chance to tread where few have gone before, or maybe it's the appeal of escape, the opportunity to disconnect from the noise of our bustling lives and reconnect with nature in its rawest form. But it could also be our innate curiosity, that insatiable human desire to explore, to push the boundaries of our known world and see what lies beyond the horizon. It's this same curiosity that has driven explorers and adventurers throughout history to chart new lands, climb the highest peaks, and delve into the deepest oceans. In this exploration, we'll be venturing to the 5 most remote islands in the world. These are not your typical sun-soaked, palm-fringed islands. No, these are places of extreme isolation, where human influence is minimal and the forces of nature rule supreme. From the icy solitude of a solitary ice mass to the rugged wilderness of a Pacific outpost, each of these islands tells a unique story. They are home to unique cultures, shaped by their isolation, and harbor a wealth of natural resources, largely untapped due to their remoteness. And while they may not have a booming tourism industry, their allure for the intrepid traveler is undeniable. So fasten your seatbelts, or rather secure your life vests. Prepare to embark on a journey to the edges of our world where isolation is not a concept but a way of life. Our first stop is Tristan D Cunha, recognized as the remotest inhabited archipelago in the world. Situated in the southern Atlantic Ocean, Tristan D Cunha is a group of volcanic islands that are as picturesque as they are isolated. The main island, also named Tristan D Cunha, is the world's most remote inhabited island, located more than 2,000 miles from the nearest land in South Africa and over 1,500 miles from St. Helena, its closest neighbor. The island's isolation has shaped a unique culture among its inhabitants. The population, hovering around 250 people, is mostly descended from a handful of families. They share a common language, a variant of English peppered with words borrowed from other languages. The island's isolation has fostered a close-knit community where everyone knows everyone, and social events like communal dinners and dances are the highlights of their social calendar. Living on Tristan D Cunha is not without its challenges. The islanders are self-sufficient, relying on farming and fishing for their sustenance. The island's soil is fertile, providing ample vegetables, while the surrounding waters teem with fish. But with no airport or seaport, supplies from the outside world arrive only a few times a year by ship. Despite its isolation, Tristan D Cunha has a small but thriving tourism industry. A handful of hardy tourists visit each year, drawn by the island's rugged beauty and the chance to experience life in one of the world's most isolated communities. They can hike the island's volcanic peaks, watch rare seabirds, or simply enjoy the tranquility that comes with being far from the hustle and bustle of modern life. But the island's remoteness also serves as its protection, preserving its natural resources and unique way of life from the pressures of mass tourism and development. This isolation is its strength, enabling the islanders to maintain a way of life that harks back to a simpler time. In the heart of the Atlantic Ocean, Tristan D Cunha stands as a testament to human resilience in the face of isolation. We journey next to Bouvet Island, a solitary ice mass devoid of human inhabitants. This island, located at the convergence of the Atlantic and Southern Oceans, is one of the most isolated places on Earth. In fact, the nearest landmass, Queen Maud Land of Antarctica, lies over 1,000 miles to the south. Bouvet Island is a harsh and inhospitable landscape, dominated by a massive glacier that covers more than 90% of its surface. Its towering ice cliffs, some reaching heights of over 500 meters, rise abruptly from the sea, creating a formidable barrier to any potential visitors. The remaining land is a rough, rocky terrain, interspersed with ice caves and crevasses, and devoid of any vegetation. The island's isolation and extreme weather conditions make it one of the least hospitable places on Earth. Temperatures rarely rise above freezing, and the island is frequently shrouded in fog and battered by strong winds and violent storms. These conditions, combined with the island's remote location, make human habitation virtually impossible. Despite its harsh environment, Bouvet Island is not entirely devoid of life. It is home to a variety of hardy wildlife, including seals, penguins, and a plethora of seabirds. The surrounding waters are rich in marine life, teeming with krill and other small organisms that form the basis of the Antarctic food chain. As for tourism, Bouvet Island offers little in the way of conventional attractions. Its extreme remoteness and inhospitable conditions make it accessible only to the most intrepid of explorers. Those few who have managed to set foot on the island have done so as part of scientific expeditions, braving the harsh conditions in the name of research and exploration. Bouvet Island, a beacon of isolation, stands as a stark reminder of Earth's inhospitable extremes. A place where the forces of nature reign supreme, it serves as a testament to the resilience of life in the face of adversity and a symbol of the untouched wilderness that still exists in our increasingly interconnected world. Our next destination is Pitcairn Island, a tiny Pacific outpost with a dark history. Nestled in the heart of the South Pacific Ocean, Pitcairn Island is a speck on the world map. Its isolation is profound. Over 3,000 miles from the nearest continent, this outpost is the epitome of remoteness. The island's geography is as dramatic as its history. Rugged cliffs rise from the sea, crowned by greenery that hints at the tropical paradise within. But this paradise is not easily won. The island is only accessible by boat, with just 2 dedicated supply ships visiting 4 times a year. Life on Pitcairn is a testament to human resilience. With a population that hovers around 50, it's the least populated national jurisdiction in the world. These stalwart residents, descendants of the mutineers of the HMS Bounty and their Polynesian consorts, have adapted to their isolation with a spirit that is as rugged as the landscape. Living conditions are a blend of the idyllic and the practical. Homes are scattered across the island, each with its own vegetable garden. Rainwater is collected for drinking, and solar panels provide much-needed power. Life here is a lesson in sustainability and self-sufficiency. In terms of natural resources, the island is rich in its own way. The surrounding waters teem with fish, and the fertile soil yields a bounty of fruits and vegetables. And then there's the island's most famous export, honey. Pitcairn honey, renowned for its purity, is a sweet testament to the island's unspoiled environment. The tourism industry on Pitcairn is as unique as the island itself. The island's remoteness and fascinating history draw a handful of intrepid travelers each year. These visitors bring a touch of the outside world to this secluded outpost, and in return, they take away lifelong memories and a newfound appreciation for the human capacity to adapt and thrive. Pitcairn Island, a symbol of survival and adaptation, offers a unique glimpse into human life in isolation. We conclude our journey at the KGAN Islands, aptly known as the Desolation Islands. At the southernmost tip of the Indian Ocean, over 2,000 miles away from any populated landmass, the KGAN Islands stretch out. This French territory is a collection of 18 main islands with countless islets and reefs. Its landscape is a dramatic tableau of steep cliffs, icy glaciers, and windswept grasslands. The islands are a testament to the raw, unfiltered power of nature, a world far removed from human touch. The isolation of the KGAN Islands is profound. The nearest neighbors are the equally desolate Heard Island and McDonald Islands, over 250 miles away. The islands are accessible only by ship, with a journey that can take up to 20 days from Réunion, a French island near Madagascar. The KGAN Islands are not a place for human habitation. The climate is harsh, with strong winds and heavy rainfall throughout the year. There are no trees, and the lack of shelter makes survival challenging. The islands have no permanent residents, only temporary scientific research teams braving the elements. Despite the desolation, the islands are rich in natural resources. The surrounding waters teem with fish, and the islands are a significant breeding ground for seabirds, including the iconic albatross. The islands also boast a range of unique flora, such as the Kerguelen cabbage, a plant species found nowhere else in the world. Tourism to the Kerguelen Islands is practically non-existent. The island's remoteness and harsh conditions make them inaccessible to all but the most adventurous. The few who do visit are typically scientists or extreme adventure seekers looking to experience one of the world's last true wildernesses. The Kerguelen Islands, the epitome of desolation, offer a stark contrast to our modern, interconnected world. These islands serve as a reminder of the world's remaining untouched spaces, places where nature prevails, unblemished by human interference. They stand as a testament to the power and beauty of isolation, a concept increasingly rare in our hyperconnected age.